Wendy Williams, what can I say? Wendy Williams took a big fall over the last couple of years. She ended up losing her daytime syndicated talk show, The Wendy Williams Show, that was on for 14 seasons. She started disappearing around season 13, and the final season, Wendy wasn't even there, making way for Sherri Shepherd to slide in and fill the spot, basically replacing Wendy with her own show, Sherri. It was Wendy's medical issues, addiction issues that led to her tumble.
Our first caress.
But one of the biggest hot topics that should have been plastered all over the Wendy Williams show was Wendy Williams herself. Her then husband, Kevin Hunter, and Kevin's mistress, Sharina Hudson, should have been the #1 hot topic. And you know what? Outside of the Wendy Williams show, it was. Wendy was married to Kevin Hunter from 1997 until 2019. After she filed for divorce from Kevin a couple of years later, Wendy claimed to have remarried in 2022. She reportedly married a NYPD officer that she had known for 14 years. At least that's what she said, but I don't believe anyone believes her. But I digress. Kevin went off living his life with his mistress, turned main chick, fiance, or baby mama, Sharina Hudson, whatever you want to call her. But now things are not going so well for Sharina and Kevin. Both of them are broke after Wendy cut off Kevin's alimony payments, and Sharina and Kevin no longer have access to all the money from before. Sharina is back at her mama's house in South Carolina, and I've got one lesson for the young ladies today. Close your legs to married men. Whatever happens to you after you choose to fool around with somebody else's husband, that's going to be on you. Sharina, I don't want to see you in the blogs. I don't want to see you on TV talking about anything. Shut down your social media because I don't want to hear from you there either. You are not a victim and no one is about to feel sorry for you. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Drop this below in the comments. Close your legs to married men. That's what I want Sharina to see below.
How you doing?
Wendy Williams, a legend on New York City radio. You can't take her broadcast career away from her. From radio to her switch to television, we're talking about a time when people, especially industry folk, they wanted Angie Martinez to have the same crossover success as Wendy from radio to TV. The industry hated Wendy Williams, but they always had love for Angie Martinez. It's not that she had more talent, because she wasn't more talented than Wendy. But yeah, everybody got along with Angie. Angie even scuffled with Wendy back in the day. Wendy's mouth would get her in a lot of trouble. But her messiness, the filth, that's what attracted a lot of modern women to her, especially with the gossip world really taking over with the push of social media and the internet. Wendy was one of the pioneers of the gossip stuff that these bloggers are on today. And that's why she never had friends like Angie, because she had no boundaries. She was going to talk about whatever and tell whatever she knew, so no one could really befriend her. But one thing that Wendy managed to keep quiet was her husband's side chick. And this is the part that's so crazy to me. Despite what people may think, Wendy was not blindsided by Kevin and Sharina's relationship. Wendy knew Sharina, and she knew her husband was messing around with her. It was Charlamagne the God, Wendy's former radio co-host, who introduced Kevin to Sharina. Sharina is from Charlamagne's neck of the woods in South Carolina. Yeah, Wendy knew that her husband had that woman, and she was going along with their arrangement. It was all good. That was until the media made their affair public. Yeah, Wendy already knew about this stuff. This is why when it first came out, she was responding to everybody talking about all is well in Huntersville. Everything was well with her because she had an arrangement with her husband. She sat back for years and didn't have a problem with Sharina being the other woman. That was as long as Kevin did whatever she wanted for her and nobody else knew about it. And quiet as it's kept, Wendy was dipping her toe in the pond as well. She was talking to other men, most of them in some sort of subordinate role. Did anybody notice that Wendy only dealt with men who worked for her or served her in some sort of capacity? So yeah, it was always funny to me when these cackling hens got together talking about Wendy and Kevin's side chick, as if Wendy knew nothing about this. No, you knew nothing about it. Wendy knew all about it. She wasn't blindsided. That was you. And after a while of trying to keep her relationship together and realizing that Kevin didn't want to be with her at all anymore, he was going to dip out with Sharina, that's when Wendy flipped and started leaning into her audience. Basically acting like she was some hurt woman who didn't know anything and she got cheated on for years, as if she didn't condone and play along with this whole side chick thing until it all blew up in her face. Now, I do believe that Wendy was blindsided by the baby. When she realized that Kevin was actually trying to build a life with Sharina, completely outside of Wendy, and cut her off, that's when reality really hit her that Kevin fell for Sharina and wanted Wendy completely out of the picture. So Wendy gave Kevin what he wanted. She divorced him and fired him all at the same time because Kevin was also her manager. No doubt about it, it was the baby that solidified that Kevin was completely checked out from Wendy. He knew that Sharina going along with the pregnancy and delivering this baby will be the end of him and Wendy. And apparently he didn't care. So at that point, whatever came next for Kevin, that's on him. Things for him and Sharina went well for a little while. They lived the high life in Miami off the alimony checks from Wendy Williams. And side note, women completely understand that this was out of order 100% for the side chick to be living under the roof paid for by the funds of the ex-wife. But let me tell you why these folks are disingenuous. Because every day when a man is ordered to pay alimony and or child support and got her new man laying up in the house with her and another man's children while her ex is paying hundreds in child support, sometimes thousands, and it's really bad for the rich men. You have men paying $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 per month in these support payments, while her new man is living off the money too, and you won't hear not one complaint from these flamingos. In fact, they will support a woman in the same situation and just say that she's living her best life with her new man also being sponsored by her old man. No, that's not out of order to them. They can't see an issue with that, but when you reverse the roles, they can clearly see it's not right. And that's why I don't take these folks seriously. Now, Kevin was married to Wendy for over 20 years, and they would say he didn't deserve anything at all after he worked behind the scenes assisting with building the Wendy brand. All that yapping Wendy did, she needed that grimy Brooklyn street guy behind her, and that was Kevin. He saved her from a lot of backlash from the streets for years. But when you bring up people like Larsa Pippen, they will say that it's fine for Larsa to take Scotty's pension because she was married to him for over 20 years. So I was never one of the people who didn't believe that Kevin wasn't supposed to get anything. Just like they will argue with a woman, that money didn't just belong to one person when it was coming into a married household. This is why 80% of the marriages are pushed by women and the same 80% turn around and file for divorce. But I will say this, the whole affair with Sharina was tacky, at least once it came out. Before, when they kept it in the family and the general public didn't know about it, it was what it was. But once everybody found out about this, it got really ghetto real quick. And that's what Wendy wasn't prepared for. She wasn't prepared to become a hot topic herself and her audience losing respect for her. It wasn't until Wendy realized it was over, she became this forever victim, which I will never believe that Wendy was a victim. She was the one down with the arrangement the whole time. She just got mad when they flipped on her. That wasn't a part of the arrangement. Now, Kevin Hunter is an idiot. To think that he was going to be able to live off Wendy's alimony payments, we all know what women will go through to keep men away from their money. So when Kevin saw that going on, or really before it all happened, he should have figured out a successful way to bring money in. He went from spending millions on cars and housing to basically ending up in the poorhouse. That's when he realized that his mistress turned baby mama was just using him all these years. She turned on him. Everybody knew that Sharina was only there for the money except for Kevin. He thought that he had been dealing with her so long and he really found his soulmate or something, which is why Kevin's move was dumb. He shouldn't have gotten her pregnant and he shouldn't have tried to make her the main chick. Sharina is a side chick and that's it. He tried to replace her with his wife. Kevin should have just stayed with Wendy, who was cool with the affairs because Wendy was creeping too, and then he wouldn't have this issue. But even if he was tired of Wendy and they couldn't stay together anymore, the split should have been cleaner than this. It was just tacky. And that's why this karma is coming back on Kevin, because Sharina dumped him when the money ran low. Now she's at her mama's house begging for child support in South Carolina, and that's what Sharina gets. That's her karma too. She's out here filing for child support, but if he's not working and he doesn't have money, how much are you expecting to really get? See, what Sharina is about to find out is the true cost of all that luxury and the high lifestyle that she was living off of Wendy's brand. But now that Wendy's brain is gone, it's all over. And so now the only role left for her is to be the begging, bitter baby mama. And Sharina, that's where you deserve to be. Next time, close your legs to married men. As for Wendy, Wendy isn't some angel, and she's obviously miserable. Wendy isn't happy. And while her so-called fans cheer on this stuff going on with Sharina, don't think that Wendy Williams is a winner here. In fact, Wendy is the biggest loser here. She was a brand, and look how sad she's going out. But knowing everything that Wendy's done over decades, I would say that this is her karma too. All these years of backbiting, lying, and everything else. And I would say that all of Wendy's old enemies are being very gracious to her. They don't even care to kick her while she's down. They're in a better space. Although if the roles were reversed, Wendy would definitely be stumping them in her size 15s. Kevin is a loser here. Sharina is a loser here. They played a silly game and this is what they got. But just because they're losers doesn't make Wendy a winner. That's why I really believe that Wendy is the biggest loser. Karma didn't just touch Kevin and Sharina. The truth is, she got Wendy too. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Shout out to the sister Janique for sending this story in, as well as the brother Dark Power. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.